This is Charter Local Edition. I'm Keira Bresnahan. We're at the Club 20 Fall Meetings in beautiful Grand Junction, Colorado. I'm joined now by Representative Millie Hamner from House District 61. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
You represent a beautiful part of the state, very different parts of the state, though, from the high country to areas of Delta County and the valley areas, so very diverse. You sit as the chair of the Budget Committee.
Yes.
Always a difficult task to get that budget balanced.
It is. But it's been the most exciting work that I've been involved in my 6 years in the legislature, partly because there are only 6 of us, and the dynamics are that there are 3 Republicans and 3 Democrats, and we just roll up our sleeves and figure things out. And this year we had anticipated some major budget reductions, and we were able to find compromises that resulted in a much better outcome for the people of Colorado.
What makes that process just so tedious and difficult every year, and what maybe could make it easier?
Well, great question. Every line item in the budget has to have a majority vote from the committee, so we need people working together to get 4 votes to pass every budget item. I don't know what could make that easier. I do appreciate the fact that we work so well together and try to respect each other. And, the challenges with the budget, we are a state that has TABOR. And so we're in a situation where we have growing needs on the part of the people we represent, needs for, better roads and, fixing potholes and dealing with Colorado's infrastructure with transportation, to better funding education and mental health services. But yet we're in a situation where we're refunding money back to taxpayers. So I'm hopeful in this next session that we could take on an issue called the hospital provider fee exemption from the TABOR limit, which Club 20 supports and which I've always advocated for. And that will give us a little more wiggle room and make the budgeting process a little easier.
And that is a key area you want to focus on, the high cost of health care.
Yes.
What are some things that you think will work to bring down that high cost?
Well, the Western region, for whatever reason, we're still not quite sure, our residents, when they go on the exchange to purchase their individual health insurance, are paying up to 4 times more than the people who live in Denver. And that's just not right. And so I carried legislation that was bipartisan this year to look at the feasibility of having one geographic rating for the entire state. And our Division of Insurance Director is not recommending that we actually go that direction. And instead, our Lieutenant Governor, Donna Lynn, is formulating a task force. I'm a member of the task force. And we're really delving into what is driving the cost of care up in the mountain regions and on the western slope. And we are hopeful that by December 1, we will have an option to present that will actually work.
Now, being up in the Summit County area, representing that district, you deal a lot with the traffic congestion on the I-70 corridor.
Yes, I do.
What are some things that you might be working on to improve that?
Well, that is a big challenge. The good news is that tourism is booming.
That's right. Everyone wants to get to the mountains every weekend.
Yes, the tourism economy is strong, and that is a great thing. Unfortunately, Colorado has not kept up with what we need to be doing on our roads and on I-70. One piece of legislation I did carry a couple years ago with Senator Scott from here, right here in Grand Junction, is the funding for the fire suppression system in the Eisenhower and Johnson tunnels. So that, while it might not help too much with traffic congestion, is a huge safety improvement.
Right, if there was an emergency.
Exactly, for travelers going through the tunnel. I don't have all the solutions. One of the bills I did support that was carried by one of my colleagues was to increase passenger car traction devices to make sure that when we are in situations with bad weather and blizzard conditions, that passenger cars should be adequately equipped with the right traction.
To make it up the mountain.
Yes, so I think there are measures that we can implement that improve safety. As far as what to do about the number of people, that is still a dilemma.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Representative Hamner, for joining us today.
You're welcome.
And you're watching Charter Local Edition. I'm Keira Bresnahan.